Well, babies, this is the kind of love you'll find a little bit difficult to throw away, wouldn't you say? And here's to you at the beginning of this beautiful day. Don't throw our love away. Indeed. Clink, clink, clink all the way around. Our love is here to stay, man. It's rocking, it's rolling, it's strumming, it's strolling. It's soothing our heart and soul and getting us up and getting us on the roll on a thrilling Thursday, don't you know? That's Coyote medicine at its best, man. Thursday, man, just one day away from being too free to be for the weekend, eh? Just one day, eh? But how about Free Day Thursday then, okay? Yeah, that's a thrill now, isn't it? Just free yourself up today. Why wait around for Friday? Why even bother to punch that clock unless you just slug the darn thing and rip it off the wall and toss it out and haul bonkers out there before they come and arrest you? Darlings, it really is one of those kind of days. You hear the call, you feel the magic in the air. You see? Just feel this radiance coming to you from 9,000 feet high, this old spaceship love here in the Rocky Mountain sky, babies. Grandpa Coyote, this good guy, with this Coyote Medicine Show, your morning wake-up call, and so much more here on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network, dear. The very center of your universal heart right now. And how? Energy drink for your soul and so much more, especially when Grandpa's on the air early in the day, helping you see the way, because we're all blind. We kind of have to feel our way along, till the light comes on, eh? And then we get to see again, It's just like that, too, man. It is every bit as significant as all of that. Coming back to life, I mean, When you start to feel your heart, and then you start to see it clear. My God, it's night and day difference, babies. This whole world's upside down. All of a sudden it starts working itself right side up. You start to see through it because you're getting down to it. You're getting real inside of yourself. See, it's all about what you feel in the deeper way. Now, don't let these mental feelings, the ones that have been programmed and conditioned into us, take us away. Notice when you're responding to programming and conditioning. I'm talking about cultural stuff, not anything that was necessarily, directly implanted in you as a child, but that happens a lot too. I'm just talking about the general trends, just the things we do in this life that everybody just accepts as normal, which is about as abnormal as it gets, and about as isolated and divisionary too. We've lost our way, man, a long time ago. When we gave up the tribe and started to, pair off into little households and forgot our tribal and our communal ways. Each man for himself. Dog eat dog. Well, dogs don't eat dogs very often anyway. And that's no way to be living now, is it? See? That's a prison. That's going around in circles, man, and just running around, all for the point of what? Well, you get the experience out of it, so it's valuable. But that's about it. Are you really accomplishing anything? Yes. You are proving to yourself the durability of the heart right from the start. You sold out, you digressed, you became the CEO of, Hamilton Beach or something, some little company like that ain't so little anymore, right? But you got bought out by the boss. So it's all owned by the same company now. So it don't really matter. You're just working for a paycheck like everybody else, even though you don't have to. You do it for the fun of it, because you like it. But all of a sudden, business don't work the way it used to work. You're feeling different about things. You cannot let the money be the controlling interest here. You're putting a harness on the accounting department and saying, listen here, guys, no more of this half a penny shaving. No more of that shit. We're not cheap. We put out a quality product for as little as we possibly can and maximize our profits, yeah. But not at the expense of our customers. The people that keep us going, that work hard for their little tiny paychecks and have to pay such exorbitant prices for shit. We got to think about those people. And we got to take good care of them. Let's give a $50 rebate on everything this time around. Make it affordable. And then next month we'll just drop the damn price. You know, what the hell? We've got a little margin here. Let's do that, you know. See if we can't get some volume going. Maybe we'll make up for it in volume, you know. Etc., etc., etc. At first it starts like that. You start to think and feel differently. The money is not the primary concern anymore in your little company, whatever it is. Maybe you're making widgets for the midgets. Well, midgets need their widgets, otherwise they wouldn't be tall enough to talk to you, you know. So you can pat yourself on the back for performing a great service in this reality. Making widgets for midgets is, you know, wow. Who does that these days? I mean, you know, really, you're a thoughtful being. A clever person, too, because, you know, without a widget, they're just a midget, you know. When they got a widget, then you got to watch out for that midget, because, ooh, they got the power, right? Right. See? So you're performing a valuable service for the little people in life. Don't ever belittle yourself for that. And tell Walmart to take a hike, that you're not going to sell it that cheap and you're not going to manufacture it in China. No, 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 no. We're going to keep it right there in the suburbs of Philadelphia. We might, you know, open a plant over in Ohio, because everybody does sooner or later. But mainly just, you know, right here wherever we happen to be, and that's where we're going to be with this little company. You see how things change? And they change a little more, and, you know, people open up a little bit more. They find out the compassionate side works better than the discompassionate side, and that profits actually increase when you drop prices and increase quality, because people appreciate that shit. Takes a bit for it to show, because, you know, they got to catch on, but word of mouth will carry you. You won't even need a TV campaign ever again. In fact, why waste your money on that worthless tube anyway? Because it's just filling people's heads full of shit. And your advertisements ain't worth 3 cents. I mean, you know, do you really want to be that sleazy and a part of that slime pit? I think you ought to just pull your money out of that, put it over here on the Coyote Medicine Show. We'll show you how to go. You know, we have a lot more fun and a lot more refreshing tunage here than the silly old TV ever dreamed of. And talk about programming. Well, we got reprogramming here day after day, Monday through Friday. Getting it clear on the Hazy Radio Network, dear. You betcha, with Grandpaw and a whole raft of angelic friends. How can you lose? You can't. And we don't run miserable, slimy advertisements for drugs that ain't good for you, with side effects that are a longer list than the Bible. Or a Hemingway novel, I mean, she boot. Except for the Old Man in the Sea. Now, that was a tiny one, but all the rest of big, thick books with long and languid descriptions in them. And we're getting a little fed up with all that stuff, aren't we? See, what we're doing is we're going through these changes, you know, as we're starting to accept our heart. We're reestablishing the way we live. And because, you know, we get the more full influence, well, then our influence is felt all over the earth because we are unified. And you're beginning to see that what that really means. When you go down to the very submolecular, the very subatomic, when you see the light, when you feel the light, when you know you're made of light, and you see that everything else around you is too, and then you see the flow. You see, that's powerful. That's the only power there is in this world. The power of love. Everything else, nothing. Yeah, people can come and shoot you, kill you. That's not power. There's no power in that, and no satisfaction either. You know, this kind of stuff's been going on forever, that war stuff. Has it done us any good? Well, we've learned a lot from it, and the one thing we have learned is we're not going to have a war like World War II ever again. We've fizzled out your World War III a whole bunch of times now. We're going to fizzle it out every time you try. Because things have changed here. And we'll soon even find generals and the people behind them, you know, the great industrialists. We'll find those people. moving in a more kind and compassionate direction. The whole idea of the Nazi infection that's been spreading itself all over the earth just fizzles out. Like Smokey come and pissed on your fire or something, and he probably did too. And you can thank him for it because he kept you from setting the world ablaze. Silly old Illuminatis, man. Illuminati-nutties, I call them, because that's what they are, nuttier than fruitcakes. And insane. I mean, our world has been run by the insane for who knows how long now. And all the rest of us went along with the insanity because we didn't see any other way. Well, now we do. You live in your heart. You see the real way. And you'll know why you can take a day or two off from work if you need to get your act together and not hurt a thing. I don't care how valuable a player you are or how much they need you there. The universe needs you here, inside of yourself, inside of your heart, awake and alive and creating through your ever-loving, innocent heart. And babies, when we do that, then these effects start happening all over this earth, and things get more and more compassionate till that moment when, bing, it just flips. And it ain't a polar shift. It's a polar neutralization, more or less. It's the end of polarity. And of the poles that pull us in polarity. Ain't no pulling on this boy anymore. He's going to be pushing now, right? Oh, babies, we love you so much. It's good to see you waking up. Happy Bee Earth Day today, man. Because that's everybody's Bee Earth Day today. God, it's gorgeous out here today in the Rocky Mountain High, let me tell you. Golden sunlight everywhere you look right now. These mornings out here are just spectacularly gorgeous. And real clear this morning. We had a little rain last night sometime because the ground's wet out there. I didn't even hear it coming down. Boy, I must have been the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald myself. Just down for the count. But back up pretty early. Guys, I got to tell you, I am feeling much better. I have, I've got these skin cancers on my face, and that's really been affecting me, and I got some other little conditions going on, too. Normally, my body is really resilient, and I don't get this kind of stuff, and if I do, I deal with it energetically, and it's gone. So it's been a little weird to have this stuff, grow and challenge my life and so forth. But I got to tell you, since I started on the Mary Jane therapy a couple of weeks ago, finally got a good supply, in other words, well, I am feeling so much better, and even though these little sores are still sores and they're still pretty sizable, they're actually beginning to shrink down. Things are getting better in this old world, man. I may not have to go for this surgery after all, because when I went to see the surgeon and they give me all these tests and scans and stuff, well, then they're looking at me and saying, we're going to remanufacture your face. And I'm thinking, oh, my God. And I'm not going to have an eyelid to blink. They're going to put a weight in my eyelid so it can stay. I mean, no, you're not going to do that to me, But I'm getting healthier. And this old Mary Jane, I'll tell you what, those Simpson drops are worth their weight in gold. They really are, because they are a very healing element. And don't just get the ones with the CDBs in them. Get it with the full presence of the THC too. Don't let them isolate it, and get it from a good supplier that believes in quality. Somebody that cares. Again, there it is. One more time. But that stuff will bring you back out of it. I know it's going to take a little time for me, but I'm stalling on the surgery just because of it. And I'm getting some laser light treatments too. Some people showed up that had that equipment, so I didn't have to go buy a Tesla wand and try and find somebody that could do it for me, because it's kind of hard to do yourself when this stuff is on the side of your face, But this stuff is real similar, and it's really been a helping too, the combination. Well, I always knew I'd live to tell about it, and I knew this thing, I didn't think it was that big a deal till I went and seen that surgeon. Then I go, oh shit, I let it go too long. Because I thought it was a spider bite for the longest of time, until it started to grow. Then I knew I was in trouble. But I don't like going to doctors, so I try to avoid it like the plague. And then usually I do But this time I finally got to that point where I had to. I didn't really see any choice. This thing kept getting bigger. I wasn't getting much help in the world. Everything I tried on it, just, well, it might hold it up for a little bit, but it just wasn't stopping it. It wasn't healing it, you know. Nothing was. So finally I just went to the doctors, you know, and started getting my tests. I really don't like doing that. I don't like them sticking me with needles and taking blood and stuff. But I was willing to do that to see if I couldn't get this doggone thing taken care of one way or another. I knew I had to do something because it could be life-threatening if you let it go. And then once I started making those moves, you know, doing what was really distasteful to myself, but doing it because I knew that was taking care of my life and 3D was requiring it of me, so there I was. Well, guess what? When you make those moves, then the magic shows up that you need. And that's just exactly what happens in my life, man. You know, about the time that just when I got done seeing that surgeon, or just about that time, that's when the light treatment shows up. And then my other friend says, oh, I got a supply now for you of the Simpson drops, etc., etc. Things have been working really good. And since I started on those, man, I got a lot more stamina and strength, and the color's coming back into my beautiful little face, what's left of it. And things are really rocking well here on this thrilling Thursday. See, people, you can get through anything. Don't let these things drag you down. Maybe you're like me, you're a real magic character. I've seen cancers heal up instantaneously. I have. Big ones. I see that kind of stuff all the time. But maybe you're like me and you've seen some of that kind of stuff. But yet you wind up with some condition. You might have taken it for somebody else. You know, who knows what the situation is. But for whatever the reason, there it is. And you got to deal with it in a human sort of way, you know, when normally you just let the magic take care of it, right? And it's a little frustrating when the magic don't work, but the magic's still working, and you know that. It just ain't working the way you think you'd like it to. It ain't curing the thing, in other words. Well, that's leading you into new directions and new connections with all kinds of people, you know, and you're showing folks how to keep a good attitude when you're going through stuff like this. A lot of people see a little cancer and they just die, man. Oh, it's the end of the world as we know it. They run to the doctor all afraid, and the doctor poisons them to death, you know. Finish him off from the cancer. And he doesn't mean to. I mean, he's doing what he thinks or she thinks is the right thing, and so on and so forth. But it's just the way it's been. But see, folks, we have a major miracle in the Mary Jane drops. In the Simpson drops, as they're called, after Rick Simpson, who supposedly invented them. Well, he was the one that popularized them, let me tell you. But for those of you that don't know, it's a concentrate of the oils of the marijuana plant, the Mary Jane plant. And because it's concentrated and purified by those that do it right, well, this stuff is pure magic. They use it on Parkinson's disease. They use it on, you know, epileptic seizures, all kinds of stuff, but especially cancer. It will cure cancer. And there's always something there that will. You know, you just got to know in your heart that everything's going to be okay no matter what comes your way. See, that's the energy I carry, and I know. Well, even if I was to croak, I'd be okay with that, but I ain't going to. Not now. I got a while to go yet, you know. In fact, if we do this thing right, we might just transition to death right now and never have to worry about it again, you know, because that's really what we're up to. As we rejoin the realms, as we rejoin with our heart, in other words, we begin to see past the restricted reality, the walls of division come tumbling down, and it's just one big old multi-dimensional experience and expression. And the feeling runs through every level of it now, because humans managed to ground it down here and anchor it in to the Mother Earth's heart. It's a whole new way of being for the whole universe, and we pulled it off, babies. At great peril to ourselves and at great risk, yes. But we're there already. What we're just going through now is the motions, because we're there already. You see? So it's like me looking at this cancer. I see it as already healed. already gone away. It's the strangest stuff, man. I've never been around. I mean, I've seen it in others, but not like this. And man, it's the strangest stuff. That stuff has an intelligence all of its own, and you kind of have to outsmart it a bit. It's interesting stuff, but freaky, man. How could this stuff ever happen to human beings? Yet it does, and millions of people suffer with it every day. The thing I'm saying is you don't have to suffer. If you keep a good attitude, if you appreciate what you've got, no matter what else is there with you, if you appreciate what you've got, baby, it can't go wrong. If you've got the gratitude going on, that's the attitude that continues your life going on forever and ever, to tell you the truth, because you're meant to be a continual, ever-expansive love at the center of your own creation, of your own perception, which is the personal experience. That's appreciated by all the universe that participates with the person, don't you see? Because the universe is learning how to be a person too. And we're all getting it together, all at the same time, same place, same energy, same everything. Throughout this universe. That's how critical these little changes are we're going through here in our tiny little human carcass frames, eh? Well, babies, it's about time, and it's a beautiful experience, isn't it? Right down into the divine side of you. You're starting to see what that means. What's divine? That's the delighted little child at the center of everything, that just sees and feels its life expanding out into all of the experience around it. And it's happier than a clam. Way happier than a clam. And clams are pretty damn happy. Look at the pearls they put out, eh? Well, we got a few pearls for you today on this Thrilling Thursday, giving out in that Coyote way. Only and exclusively on the Coyote Medicine Show, on the Everclear, ever-loving, sweethearted, Hazy Radio Network, baby. This is the rockin'est network you ever found. Worldwide at hazyradio.com. You got it on now with Grandpa Coyote and his angelic friends. You feeling them fuzzy wings coming out? I thought so. Well, babies, we are wild about you all the way around here at that Coyote Medicine Show. Only on that Everclear Hazy Radio Network, don't you know, dear? We had to play that song just for you because every one of you is feeling it today. I'm feeling it too, and so's little Oki-Wan Kenobi, our assistant DJ here, sitting on my happy little lap, giving me that loving look of his. Oh, my goodness, he could just melt you with the look, I'll tell you. He's so cute. He's my little chick magnet, too, man. If ever I'm feeling lonely and blue, I just take Oki for a walk, and the chicks come out of the woodwork, or out of the woods, actually, you know. I don't have to worry about it. You know, if there's a chick within 3 miles of him, he's going to draw her to him because he's just such a little love bunny. A cute little love bunny. Oh, gee whiz. It's nice to get away with it, isn't Oki? Yes, it is. This is the bestest thing on earth. Yeah, are you getting away with it out there, wild one? I thought so. Yeah, see. When you know you got it, then you don't have to flaunt it. You're just like this little doggy here. You're confident in what you got. And you don't even know you got it, really, but, you know, it comes natural to you, so natural. But because we've been away from it for a while and it's starting to come back, now we can have some real appreciation for it, eh? Like a little gratitude. Oh, wasn't that Louis Schwartz good this morning? I got to play that one every now and then. I know it takes up a whole 10 minutes, but it's more than worth it, eh? I tell you what, life is pure magic when you let it be. And all you gotta do is get your intellect out of the way, man. Now, some people call that an ego, but don't be pushing the ego around or trying to shut it down or kill it. Embrace it. Help it to come around. It's a part of you, baby. You know, it's not some separate thing you gotta kill off. It's a really wise and intelligent part of yourself, too, if you'll let it be. You just have to, well, I'd say tame it down, but taming it down is not the right word. You just have to bring it around, help it to see that it's in unity with the rest of you. And then naturally it will work in harmony with the rest of you. Yeah, see, it's just the littlest thing, but it's huge for humanity. Because one of the biggest things they did to us when they switched us around and brought us down to this density was they implanted a little thing in our, cord in the back there that kind of shuts the heart off from the mind. Now, you couldn't completely shut them off, so it's more like a veil than it is a complete blockage. So some stuff gets through and some don't. But see, our job then is to what? Dissolve that veil by realizing more and more of the truth. And the more we see of the truth, the more we embrace it. And when you see the truth of your intellect, that it's been working independently and kind of running amok and not really able to figure out stuff that it should have. And it's been learning to rely on its feelings more and more anyway now, hasn't it? See? So now we just let the real feeling roll on up and just go with the flow of it. And the intellect, the ego, whatever you want to call it, can take a more relaxing position and just be a functional part of ourselves and not the controlling dictator. I went to a Halloween party once as a dictator. I wore 2 pairs of Levi's so you couldn't tell. Didn't want to really do anything, but I had a potato in my jockstrap there on that second pair of Levi's. Scared a few people. They'd walk up to me, well, what are you being tonight, man? You wearing a costume? Oh, yeah, I'm a dictator. And I'd show them my tater. Okay, so you didn't think it was that funny. I did, and Okie was totally entertained by it, weren't you, buddy? Yeah. See, you just got to go with the flow, man. Humor is what humor is, man, And you don't catch the coyote medicine just yet. Well, stick around a while. You will, man. A lot more to go on this coyote medicine show on the Everclear Hazy Radio Network, dear. Ooh, big hugs all the way around this morning. I just can't love you enough, but I keep doing it, and it keeps growing, just like little Okie here, When you're love, and that's just all there is to it, And if we could learn to live it as natural as this kid did, I don't care if you're male or female. If you were out walking yourself, if there was another person within 2-3 miles of you, they'd be there. You know what I mean? You'd be just like little Okie here. That love would just vibe, and here they come, just busting out of the bushes. You're going to have to hire a bodyguard now. Oh, we ain't going to bring the pervies out. Pervies don't know what love is. They only know, the other stuff. But the real loves, Mal, they'll smell it just like a dog does on the air, and they'll come running, man. I'll tell you what. Then all you got to do is sort them out. Say, no, not you. No. Oh, your hair's curly. I don't like that. Et cetera, et cetera. Oh, it gets to be it's an honor, but it's also a hassle because you want to love everybody, right? And so, somebody comes and says, I want to be your lover. Well, come on, baby, let's be a lover then, But you don't really want to do that because some of them just ain't qualified, At least not just yet, anyway. I think we got to go up a level or two for some of these people to catch on, don't you? Well, at least we're catching on, so we're opening the door, ain't we, Okie? You betcha. We're getting it there for everyone else, see? So don't pay attention too much to what's going on around you. Pay more to what's going on inside of you, and then the all around you will take care of itself. Don't it, Okie? He knows that one. I mean, he doesn't have to do nothing but just be himself. He gets fed, he gets loving, and he gets to run around and just have a great old time in life. Do everything a dog loves to do, man. I mean, shit. His main thing, though, is hanging out on my lap. He loves that when we're here talking to you. He just loves the flow of that energy, man, that love from radiating high from 9,000 feet, baby, here in the Rocky Mountain sky. You betcha. You got that dog and that guy, Mr. Okiwan Kenobi and Grandpa Coyote and sweet Mary Jane and a whole raft of angels helping you along the way. including our little Sonotiny out there. Ooh-wee. Ma, that's a grandma, I tell you. And her little G-Roo. Oh, she's figuring out what to do, 'cause it's being due to you, isn't it, baby? Aww. You guys are so sweet. I love you so, man. Just hang in there. We're about done with this part of the show and on with some real great medicine, don't you know? September is the swing month. I think it's full moon in a day or two or three, and babies, be ready, 'cause that one's, ooh, have you felt it coming in? Yeah. It's getting stronger, isn't it, you know? And you notice the Earth has shifted her position just a little bit more to the north, you know? The evidence is everywhere. Don't ignore it. And don't ignore the magic in your life. When it comes along, embrace it, man. Say, wow, finally I know how. And notice that it just comes through you automatic. See, that's what happened to me when I started on this path some 20-something years ago. Is, you know, I started to get some healing. And because I was starting to get some healing, when I say healing, I'm talking about rounding out and getting my full presence back. You know, it was just an incredible time in my life, and it still is. It has been ever since, and it just continues to grow. But this was 20-something years ago, man, you know. And I just been going with the flow of it ever since. And babies, I'll tell you what, when you do, your life will change. Big time. And what you thought was of prime importance becomes of little importance. And what you thought of little importance suddenly looms in your face and says, I need to be addressed. And you take care of it. And you move through life like it's magic. And it's not that you don't face a lot of challenges. Just doing that, just following the flow of the magic takes a lot. It really does. But if you've got the heart for it, it's nothing. Where other people would have great grief and anguish, you just roll on, man. You just roll with the changes, and the changes come on hot and heavy, and you just go with it, you just grow with it. You're like a blossoming flower. You don't question it. But you make sure it's the right path, 'cause it feels right. And if it ain't fitting into that flow, then you don't go. It's real simple, don't you know? That flow, see, and it starts when you just feel your heart. Feel that opening up there inside of your chest. Yeah, see the veil, see it has been restricted. But this warmth, this radiance that you're feeling there will open you all the way up. You just embrace it inside. Just say yes to it. Don't run and hide. Just let it open. Let it be real. More real than you ever imagined it to be. See now what you feel? Now you feel that centering feeling. As you open the heart, and the heart opens the center, and the center opens everything else up. As you root it down into the ground through your feet, and into the atmosphere through your sky, your crown chakra. The top of your beanie little head, in other words, yeah. You get it out there, babies, and actually you start to notice that it's really 360 degrees. That the life flows into you and through you and out into the life around you. That it's all the same astounding life. All the same base energy given in all these gazillions and gazillions of different ways. All these little different personalities running around here, yet in complete congruency with all the life that surrounds it. And this is where the magic begins. When you're in that point of realization, then it is pure magic, because it stays in synchronization for the rest of forever. It don't just come and go like it has before. Now it becomes a bit more permanent. Excuse me for using a little baby talk there, but it is babies. And you have to get back to the baby-like self to realize this. Notice I said baby-like. What that means is the innocent part of ourself that's been hidden away, that we had to compromise and compromise and compromise away in order to live this way in this life, not realizing that we had the ultimate power all along. Well, from here on, you'll be singing a little different song. Yeah, babies, you're getting it on. And when you're feeling it, that makes it real. And what you feel, you begin to see, and that's the deal. It becomes a rounded out package that covers all the areas of feeling, sense, sensualness, dimension, dimensionality, depth, height, breadth. And in fact, there's no measuring it. It's just this ever-expansive love flowing through you. And that's the true magic of being a human person. And that's what every person here is learning to embrace. It's our truth. We've been bamboozled out of it a gazillion times before. Okay. Well, we can appreciate now we can't be bamboozled out of it. We're beginning to see and be the living, loving truth that we are. And once that's firmly established in you, there is nothing. No one can shake it. No one can take it, You can stand as a midget before Goliath, and all you got to do is fart, man, and everything's over with, Don't even have to sling the little stone or the arrow anymore, man. That's harmful. That's hurtful. We don't do those kind of things anymore. We just stand there and smile and watch as our gaseous emissions take care of business for us, You never know what's going to come through you now, do you? Coyote medicine through and through, you never know when a simple little fart might do. You got to remember it's paradise, and everything that happens here is really, really nice. Even if it is given in kind of a mischievous and coyote way. That's what makes it fun to play here. And that's why we keep doing it, dear. Because it's pure pleasure, as you're beginning to realize.